Hey, I'm trying to weasel in a bit more replays now and a bit more frequently than I would otherwise probably, as a new patch coming in about a week will break all old replays, very likely, uh, almost certainly, and so I'm trying to get them done, and the bigger content creators, are also already all on the early access, so I'm snatching a few from the Discord. We have here Tzeentch versus Grand Cathay, and Grand Cathay is with a, well, fairly balanced build, I would say, of a small trade front line, not the 5 ones that you typically see, some peasant spearmen, two crossbows, one with shields, one without, interesting, and two crane gunners. Actually, it's probably quite heavy on the shooting side, so with this much in shooting that you need to protect, you need to be already quite careful. And I didn't mention them, the regiment Celestial Dragon Guard, which have spell resistance, which is probably why they are taken here, I would imagine. But they also have quite great combat stats and magical attacks themselves, so that might also be an advantage, because there is a bit of problem with AP units, not AP, armored units, with AP bringing themselves, so their combat stats might be a solution for some of this. And Talents of the Night, Storm of Shadows, the nice slow, I love the spell, on the Flying Caster and the Jade Amulet. With the Jade Amulet, this Storm of Shadows basically costs nothing, and I love it. I'm a huge fan of slows. Over on the other side, we have an Exalted Flamer of Tzeentch, Echoed Hellbrass, with his usual I won't die until I'm heal capped. Marauder, another Marauder, a blue and a pink, a Chaos Sorcerer of Tzeentch, not Lord, I almost called it Lord, but it's a hero now. With Skull of Katam, giving spell mastery to make them more efficient. One use, I don't super know if that. I guess it synergizes quite well with Final Transmutation, which is a so expansive spell that you will not cast a lot of them. And Plague of Rust to get down this armor of the often quite heavily armored front line of Cathay. And the last thing is a Changeling, and I'm gonna surprise myself into what it's gonna transform. So I'm starting the replay, let it run, and see.
Adoring their chains, their
Ah,
homes,
he straight transforms.
their
Okay.
well-tended fields.
Into side
All
tank,
meaningless,
flexing on the Cathayans by bringing their legendary hero. I guess he could outduel a lot of the artillery, and that's his job here. Though Cathay currently has no artillery. His unique item, this wind bow, or what's it called, could probably be very strong against crane gunners, but the Changeling transformation doesn't get some items. Here we see, go, all the sound effects, let's stay some distance, is from Tzeentch spotting everything. Where is it? Here. Spotting everything hidden. So Cathay is sitting back right now and probably seeks to reinforce their lines a bit more. We have another Jade Warrior here, and probably here is the next one, and also some even more shooting. More Jade Warriors with shields. Jade Crossbows with shields. And quite a wide line compared to the Tzeentch one. Okay, this bow killed straight 4 models. That is respectable. But now he has to run a bit. It's Exalted Flamer. I think he spawns vortices now if he hits some infantry, so air attack is probably not what you want. This one is cheeky. He has quite a bit of things that can kill him, but he also has the Overwatch fire from the Crane Gunner, so Tzeentch has to be quite careful of that. And I'm wondering how Tzeentch will get into those juicy cranes. Currently seems satisfied to kite with Tzeentch, but that means I will lose the midpoint. And some flank maneuver prepared with the Chaos Knights here. Exalted Flamer could actually weasel through its missile through the forest. That's amazing. And you can't complain about that damage. That was 2000 damage with 1 ammo, and yeah, plenty more where this came from. What's the value in it? 150? Yeah. Now needs to be protected, but the Chaos Knights are there to save the day. And what do we have here? Zangors. They need to run from the cranes. Eckhart knows that nothing here can kill him, so he just goes in. Tzeentch got 700 value almost. Yeah. Oh, here big missed. Talons of the Night. Got the Dragon Blooded surrounded, but probably also freed the unit, so otherwise the Chaos Knights might have surrounded and killed the Dragon Blooded. Shogun Gunlord here, simply and straight. Jade Warriors crossbows here in a worrying vicinity of the Marauders, but they're not moving yet. Lake of Rust into the shielded ones, but without their armor to protect them, enough fire will take them down regardless, as we see here. The Crane Gunners also taken down by, well, the Changeling, Tzeentch, and Eccult. Oh, already at 400 value. Wow. Cathay really doesn't have much to stop him. The Marauders are finally in the Jade Warriors, and the Cathay formation is already really in shambles. They sent so much here into the forest to support their lord on their quest to kill the Exalted Flamer, which absolutely didn't work. Only scratched the barriers. And losing the lord here and giving up the tight lines that they had prepared here. Or not giving it up, but giving Tzeentch the advantage to get through the lines. And here I spot the next catastrophe. The cranes haven't... No, they did some good work, but I suspect it's a lot shot into Tzeentch, which just lives. A bit chip damage he doesn't care about. Jade Lancers against Chaos Knights. Not a good trade, but the Dune Dragons are coming. And I would say Cathay is winning back the momentum here right now, but as I know Cathay, they have all their very useful units on the field already, meaning all the Jade Warriors, so they won't be able to really reinforce a lot here with useful stuff. And so I rather see it shifting to Tzeentch. Also, losing the Lord and Caster is, of course, a catastrophe. It got really cheeky and then munched by streamers. Yeah, you. This value is a Shigagan Lord. Funny though that advanced to the forest here almost threatens this side, but the Exalted Flamer without any mobility or range to threaten him, though with 150 range himself, not a lot of archers can be a threat to him with only 160 range on the other side. The cranes would have been a problem, but the cranes are taken care of. So he has a lot of free reign, shooting into peasants, so it's not the most efficient. But Tzeentch seems to be able to afford it right now. Iron Hell Gunners coming here into an almost open-fielded Echoed, but somehow they aren't shooting. They have no shooting command, or they got it onto the wrong unit, so Echoed got into them for free. A volley of the Iron Hell could have been devastating here. Not kill him, and he will probably now kill them for free and heal up, but it would have been something at least. Now that they're completely for free. Another Chaos Knight. Those are spears, but Chaos Knight outclass them by 2-3 whole dimensions. Are those Sour Guts? Yeah. Sour Guts are evil. They explode when they die, and they do 70 to basically true damage on it. And that means they, each time a model of them dies, they take at least one model of their attackers with them, if it was killed in melee. So they can't lose a fair fight in melee. Though actually their stats are as strong as the Jade Warriors, so they only nibble on the barrier so far. Cathay has his point though, and also a lot of capture rate. Kinda consolidated a bit, their backlines. Though they run out of Jade Warriors and can't replenish them or replace them, and only come with Peasant Spears here now, and more missiles. So the moment something here breaks, all of this is gonna go down. Final Transmutation upgraded into Iron Hells. With Skull of Katam probably. Yeah, it's more in single entity killer spell. Or really high value targets. It did about a third here, but it's a 26 Winds of Magic spell. But Cathay arguably has no better targets for that now, and won't get them anymore in the field unless a Lord is resummoned, which is a strain on the Cathay pocket that's not really useful. Yeah, as prophesized, once things collapses, it collapses straight and completely. All the shooting is on the run, though the two spells helped a lot here. And the knights are running free, and those peasant spears can't really stop them. Some cheeky back cap attempt. The Tzeentch Changeling on 2.1k value. Yep, that's really strong, though I don't know how much the thing costs with a Changeling. I suspect 3k, 3.5k maybe, from judging from the other units I've seen in the very small Tzeentch start army. And Cathay has nothing else but wizards to spam out and more peasant spears. The Jades aren't really back in the reinforcement pool. They are still on the process of routing to the edge of the map to then only start the cooldown. And that is a classic Cathay problem. Maybe halberds or more Celestial Dragon Guards would have been a thing here, but currently elite units will all be sniped by their own legendary hero on the different side. Some Ironheads rallied and shooting into the Chaos Knights. Losing them here would certainly not be a good thing, but we see the first one returning that died. Not exactly paying for themselves, but taking on a very important role of suppressing ranged so that other things can do their value instead, like pink horrors. No, they're fairly fresh. You see the ammo count still fairly high up. Probably the first set of shooting is already off the field. Finally get some Jade Warriors back, but Cathay needs a formation and they're shooting and melee and shooting at the same time, and now you have all the shooting summoned in one phase and they are now dying and already half of the field, and now you get the melee back but have no longer shooting on the field. Points are really close though. Tzeentch only now overtaking it, but those solo actions here won't get them the point. They won't get them the point, and those Chaos Knights, I don't know how many Jade Lancers they can smack with their frankly insane stats, but it's probably more than 2. Other one went and regenerated their barrier to come back and make use of it. And the Cathay player accepts that this is not gonna end well for them. Now, I don't know how Cathay should play here, but losing the Lord definitely was a huge misplay. And they were in the end, I believe, if they had played it out, about 300 points short, so maybe 2 minutes of holding the mid longer. And yeah, if they hadn't lost their Lord early, I believe they might have used the extra magic from him to stall the the melee infantry of the Tzeentchian side long enough to hold the point. And especially the slows would have been a huge boon to stop the Chaos Knights running wild in your backlines. Most of the stuff doesn't really have good values because Tzeentch doesn't play fair with you. Why would he? Some have, some not. It was a massive commitment into archers, into non-armor piercing crossbows, and Tzeentch can bring a lot of armor, and they can bring a lot of shields, silver shields with Chaos Warriors and Zangors. So I'm not sure that's a super sound tactic to go into the non-armor piercing crossbows here. Though maybe the plan was to combine it with the cranes, which have shield breaker to reduce the shields, and then they probably would have been very okay. But they lost them very early due to trying to kill Satang probably. Should have maybe just hidden them from Satang and the giant bow. Satang, yeah, got a good value. I don't believe it paid for itself even remotely. But it took a very important role of forcing Cathay to make stupid moves to not just get shelled. Very weird experience for them probably, to be the one on the receiving end of artillery. And it took out those at least one unit of crane gunners and very important targets that they couldn't deal with otherwise. Eckholt definitely has paid for themselves, and Cathay doesn't really have anything to do about him, and he just murders infantry in masses. He can only make sacrifices to him. The Exalted Flamer. Yeah, those are good stats in the end, and baited Cathay even more into making reckless maneuvers. Let's see. The Chaos Sorcerer. I don't know if the overcasted final transmutation value is counted here, because that feels weird. That should be low. That would mean he only ever hit like 40% of a Iron Hell Gunner, and that seems wrong. At least I hope it's wrong. Chaos Knights, yeah, Cathay doesn't have a super good answer to them. Maybe the ROR Long Mars, but they need to hide from Screamers. Then some pings and capture weight. Yeah, and I think I've shown everything here in the post-battle screen, everything interesting. So let's end it here. See you on the next one.